Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here with T Gaming Tech, back with yet another YouTube tips video. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about pre-production. And if you don't know what pre-production is, that's okay because we're going to be going over it in this video. But basically, pre-production is basically anything you do before you actually make a video to help the whole process go smoother and take up less time. And so you may be saying, well, my videos are okay as they are. Why do I really need to use pre-production, or why do I even need to do it at all? Well, there's a couple benefits to pre-production. Number one, it's going to save you a lot of time. If you go into a video completely cold and have no idea what you're going to do, you just know what it's going to be about, you haven't thought of anything beforehand, you're going to waste a lot of time. You're going to be doing a lot of retakes, and you're going to be probably missing a lot of the points that you want to talk about in your actual video. Second, you're going to save a lot on resources. If you're shooting to an SD card like I am, I really don't have to worry about it because I have a 32 gigabyte SD card. But if you have a smaller SD card, or you're recording screen capture on your computer and you really don't have that much storage, and you waste time because you don't really know what you're doing and you haven't practiced it at all or wrote anything down, you might run out of space and you might got to cut your video short. You'll lose footage, you'll lose your files, and that's never fun. And so pre-production is going to save you time and resources, and in the actual filmmaking industry, it saves you money because studio time costs money. And so whenever you think of yourself making videos, you're wasting your time if you're just doing all these retakes. And so you're kind of wasting your money because, well, some people say time is money, and sometimes it actually is, because if you waste all your time on retakes and saying ums and trying to edit out ums and parts where you mess up in editing, you're literally losing out on a bunch of time you could be doing something else, making money, changing the world, doing whatever. And so I think the benefits really weigh out for pre-production, and it's why I really strongly encourage it. And so, for example of pre-production, I use this notebook, and I write down all of my videos in here. I started doing this back with my Google Chrome app review, when I reviewed Google Chrome for all devices, and that's kind of the first one I did in this book. I wrote things down before on little pieces of paper just to have them for the video, but I decided to start putting them in books. And basically I have the title of the video, whether or not I've actually done the video. I have a couple of videos in here that I haven't done yet. And so I just basically write the video. I write some ideas that I want to talk about. I usually star the ones I really want to talk about or mention or underline them. And I really don't use a script because sometimes I think scripts can have you be monotone and it's just not as good, and your emotion really doesn't get through the video. Some people can do scripts very well, but I prefer sticking to bullet points. You can just write down basically whatever you want. It's going to take down on time. You're just sitting there thinking, what do I want to talk about next? Or this video is about video tips. Don't have lights in your background, distracting or messing up your automatic ISO or white balance. That's just bad, and I'm not editing any of that out. That's an example of bad video, and you can't edit that out in post, but it's just gonna look obvious. You don't want to chop up your video too much in post. I know I chop mine up pretty good in my actual videos I post on my channel, but usually I do that in different segments. After I'm done covering a certain segment, I cut and then move to the next one. So I also have a calendar that I write down my videos on. I don't have it completely filled out, but I have days marked down where I want to do videos. And so that helps me stick to a schedule. And now you don't have to follow that completely, like strictly as in like a law. You have to do it or else you're going to screw up and your channel is going to be a failure. But it's good to have the calendar and the days that I want to have videos planned out, because it's going to give you a rough idea if you have enough ideas for videos, and whenever you're going to need to start maybe thinking of some new ideas. And so it's just a good idea to plan your videos out ahead of time. And so that's really all I use in terms of pre-production, as in paper. I just write my ideas down on a piece of paper or on this notebook, and then I also have them in a calendar. And that's just going to help you in general, help your videos flow well, help you to be smoother when you're actually making them. And it's going to reduce your ums, your filler words, and just any awkward pauses that you might have sometimes and that are kind of awkward to edit out. And so pre-production does help. And now if you don't do the type of videos I do on camera, you can still do pre-production. If you do Let's Plays and that's all your channel is, I don't do any pre-production for my Let's Plays in terms of a book, but I do pre-production in terms of equipment. And this is where I think still pre-production can go across the board on all channels. You need to make sure your equipment's working before you actually go all in and make your video. Whenever I do my Let's Plays, I always test out my mic and my webcam, make sure I'm using the right mic and the right webcam. I always record a little bit and then just listen to it and make sure all the settings are correct. And then I go ahead and I record my Let's Play. And that can be applied to any other on-screen game capture, gaming. Make sure your stuff's working, because I've gone through scenarios where I thought I've recorded the whole thing, but a mic's messed up, or the camera is out of focus, or just different stuff like that, little things. And so just making sure your equipment works is a part of pre-production. Making a book with your bullet points and the things you want to say is pre-production. Making sure you have fresh batteries in your cameras, pre-production. Like I said, anything to make the whole process smoother in both producing your video and shooting it and editing later. And so I spend a lot of time in pre-production. I used to not spend as much time on it. I'd spend more time on it now than I do shooting. I'll sit there and I'll think of ideas for a video for a good long time, and then I'll go and shoot my video, and my video will be shorter. I don't spend as much time actually shooting, and I don't really spend as much time editing as I have in the past. And so this is why I strongly recommend pre-production. Now, there are some cases where you don't really need to use it. Some people might say commentaries, you really don't need to use it, but then again, I'll argue and say that your equipment needs to be tested and make sure it's working correctly. Vlogs are really the only thing I don't really see pre-production at all. For my vlogs, I don't do any pre-production. I just pick up the camera and record. And because my camera and the mic are like, it's an onboard mic, I don't have to test anything. I just turn it on and start recording. That's really the only time that I really think pre-production really doesn't help. But in almost any other kind of video that you are planning to make and you just have a goal for that video, you need to do pre-production, because it's going to help your quality overall. It's going to help your videos be smoother. You're not going to have these filler words and long pauses, and you're not going to be repeating yourself often. Now, I know I do that sometimes myself, working on it. You know, I've said this many times in this series, I'm not a professional. I'm a work in progress, and I'm still applying these tips to myself. And so basically that's pre-production. And hopefully you guys learned something about pre-production, and hopefully you're going to use it and apply it to your channel, because I think almost anybody on YouTube can use pre-production to help it to make their channel better. So if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, comment down below with your opinion of pre-production, whether you use pre-production on your channel, what kind of pre-production do you do, if it's writing bullet points, if it's testing equipment. Let me know what you think, and let me know what you do. Also, don't forget to follow me on all my social links and networks that are all in the descriptions below. And also make sure you are subscribed to this channel for more tech and game related videos. And thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.